catch me howling at the moon.
My name's Cole, and I rode 71 new roller coasters in 2022. And of those, there were about 10 that really stood out to me. So today, I'm gonna be ranking and reviewing the 10 best new roller coasters I rode in 2022. I was able to visit 31 different theme parks in 2022, and of those, 18 were new parks for me. Like I said, I was able to ride 71 new roller coasters this year, and I ended the year just short of 400 credits. Now I could bore you guys by going through all of my coaster-related travels in 2022, or in true Park Pros fashion, I could just show you this.
And with that, the 2022 season comes to an end. Good night.
When she was just a girl, she expected the world, but it flew away from her reach, so she ran away in her sleep. Dreamed of paradise.
Without further ado, here are the 10 best roller coasters I rode for the first time in 2022. Number 10, The Incredible Hulk at Islands of Adventure. The Incredible Hulk is probably the best of all the B&M sit-down and floorless coasters. It just has that perfect balance of smoothness and intensity that you look for in an inversion-based coaster, and it just rips through its layout. Especially in that second half, it feels like the mid-course brake run is just there for show. Not to mention the uniqueness of the launched lift hill, the incredible setting, and the on-ride audio, which always gets the juices flowing. Number 9, The Joker at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Joker is widely considered to be one of the worst roller coasters from Rocky Mountain Construction. And while that is true, the fact that I still really enjoyed it is a testament to how consistently good RMC is. Despite having a weak layout that feels sloppy and a bit random at times, Joker still features some great elements, like the step-up underflip and the stall, which both take place right after the first drop. And the final airtime hill right before the brake run also gives some crazy good ejector. Number 8, Gold Striker at California's Great America. Gold Striker is a solid GCI that's packed with great laterals and twisting airtime. It has great pacing and runs incredibly fast, but the strong pacing is a bit negated by the fact that it does run pretty rough. It didn't quite live up to my expectations, but Gold Striker is still a very good wooden coaster, and you probably have less than a decade left to ride. Number 7, Mako at SeaWorld Orlando. Mako is a top-tier B&M hypercoaster and one of the most re-rideable roller coasters in the country. It's still butter smooth and features that rare combination of both floater and ejector airtime that you don't see on a lot of B&M hypers. Mako is a long and complete feeling ride that you could comfortably just sit on for hours without getting bored. And when I'm in Orlando, that's kinda what I tend to do. Number 6, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure at Universal's Islands of Adventure. Hagrid's is an insanely difficult attraction to rank in a list like this, because as an overall themed ride experience, it's one of the best in the world. Even when you strip it of its hundreds of millions of dollars of theming and place it on an even playing field with its roller coaster counterparts, Hagrid's is probably still the best family coaster in the country. Between its 7 launches, vertical spike, backwards portion, and vertical drop track, it feels like Universal packed every unique element they conceivably could into this 5,000 foot long coaster. And that's without even mentioning its world-class theming. Even if you're like me, which is the furthest thing away from a Harry Potter fan, it's impossible not to be amazed by this coaster. Number 5, Railblazer at California's Great America. Railblazer is responsible for single-handedly changing my opinion on these single rail coasters. No pun intended. When I rode its sister coaster at Fiesta Texas in 2019, I wasn't that fond of it. So maybe my coaster taste buds are maturing a bit because I loved Railblazer. It's got demonic pacing, and the rapid-fire elements barely leave you enough time to even comprehend what's going on. The rockwork you weave in and out of really adds a lot to the ride. Not only visually, but also by creating some great near-miss moments. Number 4, Pantheon at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Pantheon is a coaster that I don't think lived up to the lofty expectations that come with being an Intamin multi-launch coaster. And I mean, how could it when Velocicoaster opened up the year before? But nonetheless, Pantheon still claimed the title of the best roller coaster at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, which with that coaster lineup is no small feat. Pantheon has a phenomenal layout that's held back by some pacing issues on a few of its core elements, specifically the top hat and the outward banked hill. But with its great stall and a launch segment that gives multiple moments of strong ejector airtime, Pantheon is still a great roller coaster. Number 3, Giant Dipper at Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Giant Dipper is likely the most surprising roller coaster I've ever been on. It was constructed in 1924, and riding it is like taking a time machine back to the coasters of that time, because this thing has some truly wild profiling. The airtime hills are so rigidly shaped, and when you combine that with the ride's incredible pacing and bench seating, it creates some aggressive ejector moments. You can't really tell from the POVs, but these final 2 hills have some of the strongest airtime I've ever experienced on a wooden coaster, and the ride runs crazy smooth for a 100-year-old coaster. Giant Dipper is just an amazing vintage roller coaster with so much character, and it's well worth the visit because Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk is also a very cool little park. Number 2, Velocicoaster at Universal's Islands of Adventure. Velocicoaster has quickly become one of the most iconic and recognizable roller coasters in the world. Between its storytelling, overall spectacle as arguably the centerpiece of Islands of Adventure, and being a lead on its own merit as just a roller coaster, this ride is just the total package. I'm not blown away by Velocicoaster's first half, but from the second launch on, it's nearly perfect. The top hat and stall are breathtaking, and the Mosasaurus roll right over the water is without a doubt the best inversion I've ever experienced, and probably one of the best roller coaster elements in the world. Number 1, Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa. The biggest strength of Iron Gwazi as a roller coaster are its unique elements, which are distinctively larger and more drawn out compared to those on most of its RMC counterparts. Yet somehow, Gwazi is still masterfully paced, and maintains a high level of intensity throughout its entire layout. And Iron Gwazi does have some truly amazing elements, particularly the first drop, which gives you that sustained pit in your stomach, the death roll, which throws you around like you're in a washing machine, and the wave turn, which is equal parts violent and photogenic. I honestly wasn't sure if Iron Gwazi was gonna be able to live up to the 7 years of building anticipation since its predecessor closed in 2015, but it somehow met and probably exceeded those expectations. Iron Gwazi is the best coaster in Florida, one of the best coasters in the United States, and the best new coaster I rode in 2022. Sincerely, I want to thank all you guys for what was an amazing 2022. It was by far the biggest year yet for Park Pros on all platforms. I promise there are some incredibly exciting projects and videos in store for 2023, so I hope you guys will stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.